personal responsibility precedes personal empowerment, and it's personal empowerment that gives birth to confidence and assertiveness. All right, so what I want to offer you here is a model to help you understand what responsibility looks like, and also what responsibility don't look like. All right, allows you to do a bit of a contrastive analysis on yourself and your own outlook on life. Right, so I want to propose that your outlook will determine your attitude. Your outlook, i.e. how you see things, determine how you turn up and how you are for yourself, for other people, in your relationships, in your workplace, and the attitude you take towards the world at large. All right, some people will live their lives, as we understand, in this powerless state. All right, and this is the attitude. Life happens to me. Life happens to me. I'm a victim. You feel victimized, helpless, and have no power, needing another person to come along and fix you. Now, can I tell you a little secret? Right, so I'm essentially a teacher of applied psychology, not clinical psychology. I do not advocate that in the slightest. The majority of clinical psychologists, especially the ones that I've come across throughout my professional career, are expert manipulators, all right? Kind of like the disempowered leading the disempowered, the blind leading the blind. So if you think about where many people go when they feel emotionally disempowered in life, some people might feel sad or depressed or anxious or stressed out. They'll then go to a counsellor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or something like this, and they'll talk about their feelings for hours on end. And then a psychiatrist or a counsellor might offer a few suggestions about exercises they can do, things they can do to make themselves feel better. All right, if our number one priority in life is just feeling better about our circumstances, then we're really kind of missing the point. All right, if our goal is just to feel better about ourselves right here, right now, then what we're not addressing is the reason why we don't feel so great about ourselves right here, right now. All right, you hearing me? So this is kind of this fear-based outlook towards life. Life happens to me. Nasty people do nasty things. Bad people have done bad things onto me. There's some nasty narcissists out there and all that kind of thing. And it's a really disempowered tone that some people take towards this big bad world that's out there and forever live in this disempowered state. Now listen, just in case you're not taking what I'm saying seriously here, look throughout society, all right? I know men and women in their 50s, their 60s and their 70s who have missed the boat of life, and I'm being straight. They've spent their entire lifetime in a dead-end career. They've skipped around from disempowered, fruitless relationship to fruitless relationship. They reach the latter stages of their life in a place of sorrow and despair because life has passed them by. Right? They spent their whole life defining themselves as a victim, the hard done-by ones. Spent their lives in this perpetual pity party, right? Speaking to people, talking about their woes, talking about their problems. Now listen, you might get away with this when you're in your teens or your 20s or your 30s. You might think that it's okay to, have conditions and disorders. And, listen, I get where society's at in this. I understand society's stance. There's millions of them these days. There's new disorders and conditions getting invented day by day. But the question is, what can you afford, right? What can you actually afford? Can you afford to be waiting back or holding back, waiting for someone to come along and fix you or heal you or come along with the magic words or the mystical 5-step process? We have people throughout society who will present themselves as experts and professionals. Some people dangle diamonds. And over the last 7 or 8 years, I've trained over 500,000 people online. I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just saying it's a fact. I've trained over 500,000 coaches and counsellors and mentors, right? And many of these individuals have come from backgrounds where they promoted their healing abilities. Counsellors who have the ability to cure and heal people's wounds and hurts, kind of like turn up for a few sessions and I fix you. You have people who dangle diamonds, energy healers whose energies can fix people's low confidence and self-esteem issues. right? Whatever you do, don't question the energy, because no one actually knows where that comes from. It's one of these magical, mystical, mysterious things, all right? So there's lots of people out there who will make money and profiteer from people's disempowerment. It's a sick world we live in. Listen, we're all part of this. We can be part of the problem, or we can be part of the solution. So we want to be getting out of this ASAP, and I'm being straight with you, all right? You've got to get out of this. If you're disagreeing right now and saying, yes, you are a victim, okay, fair enough. You might need to roll around in victimhood for a few more years until you absolutely sicken yourself. Come back and see me. I'm still going to be singing the same song. We want to be entering into the stage ASAP. Life happens by me. For better or for worse, there will be a consequence for my every action, for my every behaviour. Every word that comes out of my mouth will trigger a consequence. Life happens by me. Now, don't get me wrong. Whilst hosting this attitude towards life is significantly more useful than hosting a life happens to me, I'm a victim mindset, it's still not that healthy or helpful. People assume that they're directly in control of determining the outcomes of their life, and therefore work hard. It's kind of like, I read a book. Do I have this book somewhere? No, I don't. I can't remember what it was called, but there's a Vogue article online, and it was an interview that was conducted with Madonna. You know, the Queen of Pop, around about maybe 15 years ago. So this writer had interviewed Madonna, asking her about what it is that drives her. She was in her 50s, and she's created and produced however many #1 chart-topping singles, albums. She's done international, global music tours, all that kind of stuff. She would be a source of inspiration and hope to many young ladies and gentlemen who would hope to, at some point in the future, follow in her footsteps. It's a prime example of what a successful music career looks like. But when she was asked what was driving her, she said, I've never felt complete. Right? It's kind of like I have this insecurity, this internal void that plagues me. So I create this next single, I create this next album, I go on to experience a little bit of short-lived satisfaction, and then within days, the void comes back. It's like it doesn't matter how hard I work or what I do or how much effort I put in, that internal void never disappears. I doubt it will ever leave me. Or words to that effect. And it's a great example. Now, obviously, I haven't never met Madonna. I don't know the lady personally. But I can relate to this attitude of trying desperately to make my life work. Again, for those couple of years after terminating my military service, right, I knew that my life was in an absolute pickle. Talk about insecurity, zero confidence. My goodness, I wouldn't even speak to members of the opposite sex back then. Right? I couldn't look people in the eye. I ended up drinking copious amounts of alcohol. I'd get very, very angry. I ended up, I'm being completely transparent now, I ended up creating or attracting a criminal record for myself, for getting into fights, for losing my temper, getting angry with people. Why? Because I was trying desperately to make my life work, and when anyone got in my way, I would tear them down, all right, by whatever means necessary. And I ended up getting a criminal record, all right? I lost my temper. I would get angry with people. Now listen, what's anger? It's just an unregulated emotion, exactly the same as low self-esteem or anxiety or depression, all right? We can put clinical titles on these things, but having a title on an emotion doesn't enable us to regulate the emotion. We need to learn to regulate, which we can only do if we understand the source of our emotions, which are essentially unmet motivations. Now, take note of that. I'm going to come back and explain that later on. So essentially, here in this phase of life, we're motivated by getting more, by being more, by doing more, by achieving more, but we're completely reliant on our own efforts, desperately trying to make our lives work. The problem is that we are imperfect. And whilst independently as individuals, we can get so far on our own, until we learn how to interact and collaborate with people, we only get so far, as I've mentioned, right? If you want to go fast in life, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, you've got to learn how to collaborate with others. And you only will really effectively collaborate with others from this place of confidence, from genuineness, where you are bringing your best self to the table. All right? Otherwise, people are not going to trust you. All right? People see you holding back, putting on a facade or a false show. You're not going to be trusted, and you can't afford this. So we want to be stepping out of this ASAP, out of fear, into this place of kind of, call it ego-based works. Ego, where we're kind of just trying to do things to make ourselves feel better. We cross the line into this place here, where we begin to really grow an awareness now of the fact that life happens through me. Life happens through me. All right. So, what am I doing right here? I'm saying some stuff. Right, I'm a teacher, right? Am I a perfect teacher? I'm absolutely not, far from it. Right? Am I the most gifted communicator in the world? Absolutely not. All that I'm doing is communicating what I understand to be true from a place of absolute transparency and authenticity. I know that all I can do is communicate what I understand to be true to the best of my ability. Whether you take this on board or not is your prerogative. All right? So I have learned how to come alive, all right? I love life. I have no issues with confidence, no issues with self-esteem, right? Still have a little issue with anger and temper every now and again, but listen, I'm a work in progress, as are you. What I'm saying here is I understand that as I step out and confidently just do my best and deliver myself to the world, you're experiencing this right now, where this won't be enough for some people who need perfection. For others, possibly you, I'll be more than enough. Perhaps I might even at this stage be offering a little bit of hope or a little bit of inspiration with a little bit of context to back these things up. All right, so I understand that life happens through me. What does this mean? It means that if you experience a little bit of life because of something that comes out of my mouth, I've just made the world a better place. Life happens through me when I get out of my own way. Here, when life happens by me, I'm essentially getting in my own way. Here, I'm getting out of my own way. I'm here for a reason, and I've got a purpose. I'm here to enlighten you. I'm here to share with you some lessons that I've learned about life along the way. And trust me when I say that I didn't learn my lessons in an academic institution. I learned my lessons through this school of hard knocks. There's a pretty good chance you can relate to that as well. All right, so I'm here with a purpose. I'm here with a passion. I'm in touch with a greater source of life. And I have faith, I have trust that the greater good can be accomplished through me. Do I need any confidence for this? No, I just need to get out of my own way and stop feeling, stop thinking. Now that's probably going to sound like a bit of an abstract concept for some people, but let us grow, let us evolve. What does responsibility look like? First and foremost, now I'm taking responsibility for me. I'm taking responsibility for all my flaws, all my imperfections. I've even shared some of them with you. My goodness, the confidence, self-improvement teacher with a criminal record? My goodness, should this guy really be teaching me? I'm just being honest. I'm being sincere. This is what assertiveness looks like. Just being real. All right? Life happens as me. Life happens as you. When you get out your own way. I am fully responsible for everything I say, for everything I do, for everything I feel, for every result or consequence that I generate through my life, through my actions, through my attitude, through my behaviours or lack thereof. If I don't have a healthy marriage, guess what? I'm influencing this. If I don't have a healthy relationship with my children, guess what? I'm influencing this. If I feel like an emotional train wreck, guess what? My mindset is influencing this. I am responsible for me, 100%. There is no separation between you, any part of you, and all of your outcomes or consequences. You and you alone are an extension of all things. Now, I don't know if you followed. I don't know if you're catching what I'm cooking. All that I'm doing my best to do here is present you with what responsibility looks like. Because guess what? This is the power zone. This is it. This is where it is. This is where life happens. Life don't happen down here. Why? When have you ever come across an empowered, confident, victim. Never. All right? You experience victims in this perpetual place of disempowerment. Now remember, bad things happen to good people, and it's not about undermining the things that happen to us, because I know that some people have had some horrendous life experiences. But it's not about what happens to us. It's about how we respond to that which happens to us. We're either overcome by our experiences or we are overcomers of our experience. All right? An example I sometimes use is kind of like people go through life. Like in our earlier years, we have some life experiences. You know, mummy didn't love us enough. Daddy didn't give us enough cuddles. Perhaps we were in a relationship with a narcissist or something like that. All right. So we end up picking up this burden. We call this the old man story. All right. This story, it weighs us down. And anytime we have an opportunity to tell someone about our story, we will take it. Oh, so you've got no idea how hard I had it. Oh, life was so tough for me back then. These terrible things happened to me. Oh, I was a victim. I'm a victim. I'm traumatized by my past and all that kind of stuff. And they're all lining up outside mental health offices and to speak to counsellors to talk about their old man story. This is the old man story. This is what disempowerment looks like. So what does empowerment look like? It means lifting up the old man, dropping him on the floor, standing on him and saying, it did not kill me. I am not defeated. I am not finished yet. It's just part of the story. For what does not kill me can only make me stronger. Do you get it? All right? I want you to get it. Why? Because you have no reason not to. There's not a life to be found anywhere else. There's no life to be found so long as you're carrying this nonsense on your shoulders. Right? You'll only begin to experience this life, this empowerment, when you put it down and learn from it.